Welcome to the CISO Daily Update.
LockbitSupp identified as Dmitry Khoroshev and indicted for ransomware crimes. In a major blow against the prolific Lockbit ransomware gang, authorities have unmasked and indicted its pseudonymous leader LockbitSupp as 31-year-old Russian national Dmitry Khoroshev. A 26-count U.S. indictment charges Khoroshev with developing and operating the destructive Lockbit ransomware as a service that has targeted thousands of victims worldwide, including critical infrastructure like schools and hospitals. The US, UK, and Australia imposed financial sanctions as investigators revealed Khoroshev's identity on Lockbit's seized dark website, offering a $10 million reward for information leading to his arrest. Accused of pocketing over $100 million from ransoms, Khoroshev faces charges for running a massive criminal enterprise that repeatedly risked lives through crippling cyber attacks. MITRE hack: China-linked group breached systems in December 2023. MITRE provided further details on a recent hack targeting its nerve network, revealing that a China-linked cyber espionage group exploited zero-day vulnerabilities to gain access through an Avanti Connect secure VPN device. The attack began on December 31, 2023, and involved the manipulation of virtual machines, deployment of malicious payloads including Brickstorm and the new web shell Bflush, and data exfiltration using the web shell Bushwalk. MITRE discovered the intrusion in April and shared technical details and indicators of compromise related to the attack. The Avanti vulnerabilities used were widely exploited and affected numerous organizations before proper patches were released. Play Ransomware Group claims responsibility for disrupting Kansas City Scout system. The Play Ransomware Group claimed responsibility for disrupting the Kansas City Scout system, causing the shutdown of its dynamic information boards, official website, and real-time camera system. Managed jointly by the Departments of Transportation in Missouri and Kansas, the system provides weather and traffic updates to drivers. While restoration efforts are underway, full availability of services may take months. The attack coincided with severe weather conditions in the area and raised concerns about the communication of severe weather warnings to drivers. Officials advised seeking traffic information through alternative channels during the outage. RSAC: securing foundational tech critical to upholding democratic values, says Blinken. In his RSA conference keynote, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken points out the critical importance of securing emerging foundational technologies like AI, quantum computing, and biotechnology to uphold democratic values and prevent their misuse by adversaries for surveillance or human rights suppression. He outlined the U.S. strategy centered on responsible development to benefit humanity, establishing governance frameworks aligned with democratic principles, enabling U.S. competitiveness, building resilient, trusted supply chains, and restricting exports of sensitive military-tied tech, all through international collaboration and digital solidarity. Blinken warned the choices made today will have a generational impact, as nation-states increasingly vie to assert technological dominance to oppose democratic or autocratic interests, making collective action among allies crucial to channeling these powerful innovations for greater global stability. BetterHelp to pay $7.8 million to 800,000 in health data sharing settlement. BetterHelp reached a $7.8 million settlement with the United States Federal Trade Commission. The online therapy platform was accused of gathering personal information from app users and website visitors without their permission and sharing it with third-party platforms for targeted advertising. Email addresses, IP addresses, and health questionnaire replies were among the information collected. BetterHelp used this information to target potential users with advertisements for its counseling services, resulting in considerable revenue increases. Refunds will be provided to consumers, which the FTC says over 800,000 people qualify. Users have until June 10, 2024 to choose their preferred refund payment method. Citrix addresses high-severity flaw in NetScaler ADC and gateway. Citrix addressed a high-severity flaw in its NetScaler application delivery control and gateway appliances, reminiscent of last year's Citrix bleed vulnerability, but less severe. Discovered by Bishop Fox, the bug allowed unauthenticated remote attackers to obtain potentially sensitive information from affected systems' memory. Though less serious than Citrix bleed, the flaw still poses risks, allowing occasional capture of HTTP request bodies from the process memory. Citrix quietly addressed the issue in version 13.1 to 51.15 before disclosure, and Bishop Fox recommends that affected organizations update to this version or beyond. Oracle Weblogic server flaw allows attackers full control, POC released. A recently discovered vulnerability in Oracle Weblogic server allows attackers to exploit JNDI injection, leading to remote code execution on the targeted system. Two main methods enable exploitation: exploiting the opaque reference interface and setting the Java naming factory object attribute during initial context initialization. Patched in Oracle's Q2 quarterly update, this flaw enables attackers to bypass normal restrictions on JNDI attributes, potentially leading to unauthorized code execution. The exploit leverages vulnerabilities CVE 2024-2931 and CVE 2024-21006 alongside others. Report shows AI fraud, deepfakes are top challenges for banks. A new report by MITRE Systems reveals that banks are grappling with increasingly sophisticated fraud threats, with 76% perceiving recent scams as highly advanced. Key challenges highlighted include AI-generated fraud, deepfakes, and vulnerabilities in customer onboarding processes, where 42% of banks identify heightened fraud risks. 32% of risk professionals estimate up to 30% of transactions could be fraudulent. While identity verification measures are being implemented, there are gaps, with only 33% of mature banks having such safeguards compared to 41% of fintechs. Effective intelligence and streamlined security stacks are cited as critical for enhancing customer protection. Ransomware operations are becoming less profitable. Ransomware operations are facing a decline in profitability despite an increase in attacks, with payments dropping by 46% in 2023, according to Chainalysis. Factors contributing to this decline include heightened cyber resilience of organizations, the availability of decryptors, and increased law enforcement actions. Recent law enforcement victories, such as the disruption of QACBOT and LockbitSupp, have caused significant disruptions within ransomware groups, affecting operations and trust among affiliates. While ransomware gangs have shown adaptability, concerted efforts from the private sector and law enforcement are crucial for long-term mitigation strategies, including innovative disruption tactics and blockchain intelligence tools. Only 45% of organizations use MFA to protect against fraud. Ping Identity's report reveals that despite widespread acknowledgement of identity fraud as a pressing issue, organizations struggle to implement effective strategies, with 97% facing challenges in identity verification and only 45% using multi-factor authentication against fraud. Concerns over credential compromise and AI-driven attacks persist, yet the adoption of advanced technologies like biometrics and decentralized identity remains low. This disconnect between awareness and action highlights the need for organizations to bolster their identity protection measures to effectively mitigate evolving cyber threats.
Thanks for listening. Remember to subscribe to our newsletter at CISOHeadlines.com. Until next time, stay curious.